Okay, y'all ready?
Take it away.
Okay. Hello, we are the Program Pirates, and this is our Week 10 presentation. I'm Alex Fry.
I'm Zach Bramer.
And unfortunately, Sanjay nor Ave could be here with us today, but we're going to just kick it off. We create a mobile application called AI on Thumbs that teaches anybody all over the world the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, ranging from topics such as facial recognition or even machine learning, which is something that we really hope to make in the future. Specifically, we made lesson 2, which is a continuation of lesson 1, based on the second half of their facial recognition lesson. The first half was made by our wonderful developers who have helped us gain skills along the way in order to make this lesson. At first, we were going to create our own lesson from scratch, but then our wonderful mentor, Michael, suggested we make this continuation, which has already been designed by the developers, luckily. We are responsible for coding each screen using JavaScript and React Native, and it is a combination of static or non-moving screens and dynamic or interactive screens. In the end, we were able to get all of our screens coded, and we will be deploying very soon. Now, Zach will be showing our product.
Yep, so let's see if it'll let me screen share. There we go. So this is what the app looks like. The first lesson's already out in the App Store. You guys should all go check it out. It's pretty cool. So that's the first lesson, but we made the second lesson, so that's what we're going to go over. So you can see this is just the first screen welcoming you to the lesson, and since it's the second lesson, it's got a bit of review of the previous one, just to like refresh your memory in case you took like a few days between lessons. So just reviewing some of the content of like what pixels are, how computers like use them, and then in this lesson, it's teaching about a popular face detection strategy with filters. So to a computer, picture is just a bunch of numbers, so got to figure out how they can tell the eyes from noses or just like background and all that stuff in an image. So the way it does this is, as it explains, there's patterns that the pixels make in pictures a lot, and computers can pick up on that. And so this is our first interactive screen. It's got a picture of some eyes and then some different like patterns of what you might think eyes look like. And then if you click this little switch, it lets you see it more how like the computer sees it, just without color, just black and white. And then you've got all these different options. Like if you click this one, oh, that's not what it is. It's not this one either. But if you click the right one, it's like, yeah, did it right, good job. You can just change back and forth between the like how we would see it and more how the computer would see it. And then this goes into some explanation of how computers make filters. And then pretty much it just like looks into photo for like patterns that match what the filter it knows. And then that's how it finds the features. This just goes more in depth with how like pixels work, and then how contrast is what computers use to find the difference. And then just more on contrast and how that's calculated. And then just more info about contrast. And then this one, just a little multiple choice thing like, oh, you've got 6 light pixels and 3 dark pixels. What's the difference between them? And you've got a few different options you can choose from. And it lets you know when you get it right. Continue. And this one is another one of our interactive ones where you're given this little filter right here. You've got to try and drag it across the image to try and find what it matches up with. And this one specifically matches up with our eyes. So when you get it there, it just snaps into place. You can continue. Then this one's just explaining how the filters work to you and how the closer, like the higher the contrast is, means it's a better match. And this is just kind of like a yes/no question with, you know, if the filter just like tries every single pixel possible, and depending on what answer you choose, it either tells you if you're right or wrong. So if we do this one, it says you're wrong. If you do this one, it tells you you're right, and then you can keep going through the lesson. Explanation of why that doesn't work, just because It's not really how we as humans identify stuff, so it's not going to work for a computer either. And just some more information about how, trying to use that filter over every pair of pixels would take like forever, way, way too long. And then it's going to explain to us with this little interactive one, which should not be doing that, but this is just like a little matching game. Well, not matching game, but you're just trying to find the different features. So this one's supposed to search for nose. Your nose is usually below your eyes, so find that there. Then the two different ears and the mouth, and then once you know you got it right. Then this next one, since that one was just with like emojis, this one's with real people. So we can see we got like the whole image, and it tells you like look for mouths, ears, noses. So we just kind of click through trying to find them, and there we go. Found both their faces, and that's a lot faster than having to go like this trying to find all the stuff. And then that's the end of the lesson. We're trying to keep them pretty short, just so like you're not just sitting there like it's a college lecture, just little like digestible lessons. And one of my favorite parts of the app personally is when you complete it, just a little bit of confetti that goes. I know Sanjay spent a lot of time trying to get that to work, and very glad it does. And then this is just a little summary of the lesson, just trying to condense it all down. And then just a little feedback screen. So like if you liked it, you can let us know. And then you can sign up to get notified for more like information about when the next lessons come out. And then this one, since it's a simulated device, I won't be able to show you, but you can actually use your phone camera, and it'll take a picture of your face, and then it'll put that through a machine learning algorithm, and then it'll return it and like show a little box around your face saying like, look, it used these filters you just learned about to find your face, and then you can share it with your friends. Yeah, that is the app.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Zach. Okay, let me share my screen again.
Because now we've got,
I'll do it right this time.
and since Sanjay couldn't make it, he pre-recorded his video,
which we are gonna play now.
Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone, my name is Sanjay, and I'm glad to be joining you.
Can you hear it okay?
Yeah, we can hear it. You might want to make it full screen and change the setting to be a little bit higher def if possible. Cool. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit today. Thank you, Zach, for demonstrating the app in action. So now we're going to dive to the behind the scenes of the product. So here in the README file, it describes our GitHub repository that our group used throughout the course of the program. So here you can find all the relevant information to the project, including authors, organization methods, and protocols for development. So as you see here, we have folders named assets, components, and screens, and all of these hold items pertaining to the project. So assets is going to hold all the media, such as images and fonts that we use. Components is going to hold all the advanced functionality, such as multiple choice quiz components, and also an interactive magnifying glass to really zoom into Abraham Lincoln's face in case you didn't do that in your free time. Lastly, screens will hold all the files, will hold all the JavaScript files to create each individual screen. And you'll see that in chronological order in our repository here. So the screens, there's two. You have all the screens here. So we'll start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then all the way down. And then, for example, in course one here, that first one, in assets here, we're going to find all the images that we use. And for components, here's all our interactive features and the advanced functionality of the project. So transitioning to the challenges that we faced throughout. In terms of challenges, my biggest challenge was integrating both GitHub and VS Code and working on the project simultaneously like that. And it took a while to understand many of the concepts of Git, such as branching, pull requests, and merging. And working in JavaScript and React Native, that was also a separate challenge. But learning the new coding language has always been exciting for me, except C++. After trial and error and asking for help numerous times from my team, I have shared in my successes with them. And from when I created my first screen to when our project was released on the App Store. And my biggest pride is seeing my name featured on a published app, which all of you should download and rate 5 stars. Finally, I'm so grateful for this internship opportunity to work with some outstanding people within my group and the senior developers I was able to learn from, not only about React Native, but also the process of industry work for a future in software development. The skills I gained from this program are invaluable, and I thank everyone for this opportunity.
Okay, Zach, you can go ahead and speak about how your experience was.
Great, yeah, so Sanjay, he talked about his experience, so I'm going to talk about mine now. So big challenge was just learning so much about React Native, JavaScript, and working with GitHub. It was hard to learn that much, and we had to do it really quickly. So that was pretty difficult, but was able to do it, just got to try hard. And then for me, what was really rewarding was after completing the screen, after just spending a ton of time trying to get it figured out, and then just getting the screen perfected was great feeling, and just making sure it worked on all different device sizes. Very nice. And then I also learned a ton about how developing as a team works and how to make a mobile app, because without doing this internship, I never would have even known where to start on an app. And I definitely wouldn't have had a team of amazing developers that I could just ask for help when I needed it.
Yeah, I have just really loved this experience. And, the challenges were basically, getting used to programming JavaScript and React Native and learning how to, ask for help and communicate with my team, as well as those basic coding things. We were reviewed by a lot of our developers and had to fix things along the way, but we learned how to properly code in just a nice, consistent way. And the successes, I just think our whole app has just been really successful. And, every time I get something coding right, I get really excited because I'm like, yes, I learned something new. I did something great. And so it's just that every time I just see my app opened or someone talk about it, it's just really exciting. And throughout this journey, I've just learned so much coding experience, as well as effective teamwork and communication and things like that. And it was scary. It was scary at first to get used to, going at this fast pace, but just as we started coding more, I started to feel a lot more confident and, feeling like that we can get this done, and, we were successful. And I just want to thank my team so much, because they're just the best, and all developers that helped us, because we had so many. And yeah, that was that.
So
Great
Alex,
job, guys.
Alex,
way to go.
wait to see if you had 100,000 people using your